morning Year 3 and welcome to Monday's lesson. So last week we planned our diary entry and we were looking at different sentence types that we could put into our diary entry. So we're going to use our plan to write our jungle log today, which is very similar to a diary. Now I'm just going to introduce the jungle log that I read to you originally by the Explorer. So it says jungle log, the 18th of April 2020. Today has been an amazing day of discovery. I woke up early and got ready for my trek into the Atlantic jungle. I was excited and couldn't wait to see what lay ahead of me. I packed my rucksack and put my sturdy walking boots. I made sure my camera was working because I wanted to record as much of the day as possible. I left camp at 6 a.m. First, I trudged through the dense forest and collected samples of plant life. My favourite was a thorny bush. It had tiny yellow flowers growing on it, which smelled like ice cream. Next, I studied some of the mesmerising insects that were crawling up the rough bark of every tree. One insect looked like a caterpillar but had 2 sets of wings and tiny hands on the ends of its 20 legs. Excitedly, I photographed as many creatures as I could because I wanted to show my explorer friends what I had discovered. So those are the first 2 paragraphs of the Explorer's jungle log. Now, this is my plan. So remember, you planned your plan in 2 sections over 2 days. So this was the first part of my plan and this was the second part. You're only going to write the first part of the jungle log today, so you'll be writing these 4 sections. Now, I did ask you to write your plan down on paper so that you could refer back to it because you wouldn't be able to look at your plan from Purple Mash. So, this is my log and we're going to go through it. So at the top you need to write jungle log and then today's date, and then my first paragraph I used my plan. So I said in the first bit that I was going to say today I had a fantastic day, I went through my magical wardrobe, I was excited to find out where I would end up, and I've explored the enchanted jungle. So I was looking at those 3 bullet points, but I need to extend them into sentences. So I put, today has been a fantastic day of exploring. I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited to find out which jungle the magical wardrobe was going to transport me to next. I ended up in a place called the Enchanted Jungle. Before I set off, I packed my rucksack with essential equipment, a compass, binoculars, camera, a sandwich and a bottle of water. I put on my protective raincoat and trainers as I didn't know what kind of land would await me. So in the first sentence I've said what type of day I've had. I've explained that I couldn't sleep because I was excited, and I've said where the wardrobe took me to, the enchanted jungle. Now if you look at my second part of my plan, it asked for what I did before I set off, and I said I woke up early with butterflies in my tummy, I packed my rucksack with these things and I put on my raincoat and trainers, which are the things that I've discussed in the first paragraph here. Before I set off, I packed my rucksack, I've said what I put in my rucksack and that I put on my protective raincoat and trainers and why I did this. I haven't said about the butterflies in my tummy because I'd already said at the beginning of the paragraph about me not being able to sleep. Now, in this paragraph, I've highlighted some things in blue. So let's have a look. I've highlighted fantastic because it's an adjective. I've highlighted the exclamation mark to show I'm excited. I've got the conjunction because, so I'm explaining why I couldn't sleep. Excited, again, an adjective, but also a feeling. It's important when you're doing a jungle log or a diary to say how you were feeling at the different points of your day. Now, it said here the wardrobe was going to where the wardrobe was going to transport me to next. Here is transport, which is a verb, so the wardrobe's going to take me from one place to another, but I've chosen to up-level the verb to transport because it's just a better word than where it was going to take me to next. I've used another exclamation mark here, and then I've got a fronted verbial here, before I set off, comma, essential equipment. Essential is the adjective to describe the equipment. So essential just means it's needed, I must have it. And then what I've done here, I've used commas in a list. So I've put commas in between the things that I'm taking with me and then used and before the last bit in the sentence. And then again, protective is an adjective to describe the raincoat. Now, the next part, so I put those two paragraphs together because there wasn't much in either of them, and it was all about before I'd left. And then event 1, this is my next paragraph. So in my plan, I said I trekked through the multicoloured trees to an area of pink grass. The sun was shining in the sky, singing because I'm happy, and I saw 4 fairies flying around. So I've had to develop that into a paragraph. So if we take a look, I've used my time opener first because it's the first thing that happened. I encountered many multicoloured trees in the dense jungle that I trekked through. I was mesmerised by the variety of plants and trees surrounding me. It was beautiful. I must have been walking for an hour and thought I would never find my way back, when suddenly there was an opening. In front of me was a sea of luscious pink grass. I lay on the pink grass, relaxing. Furthermore, above me the sun shone brightly, singing a sweet melody. How cool is that? I rested my eyes for a while. However, I was awoken by 4 fairies prodding and poking me like I was an alien. I suppose to them I must have been. Now, I said in my plan that I had to go through multicoloured trees and it took me to pink grass. So I've had to extend these sentences. So I've put first on my time opener, I encountered. That means came across, discovered, but it's a better word than found. Multicoloured trees, that's my adjective. In the dense jungle, again an adjective. I trekked through. Now, trekked is another word for walked, isn't it? And then I've said how I felt. I was mesmerised, which means you think something's absolutely beautiful. You can't take your eyes off it. By the variety, so an adjective again, of plants and trees. So variety just means that there's lots of different plants and trees. It was so beautiful. So again, I'm describing it. Then we've got when, so a conjunction. So I've got my sentence and I'm joining it with when. Then in front of me, that is your fronted adverbial. Luscious pink grass. So luscious pink is your adjective. And then I've got an exclamation mark. So at one bullet point saying that there was multicoloured trees and pink grass, I've made 2 extended sentences. I said, I was lying on the pink grass relaxing. Furthermore, so I've used another word for and to extend my sentence. So the sun shone brightly, so I've got an adverb, and it was singing a sweet melody, so that's my adjective. Now, I've written a question here. How cool is that? Because if you're writing a jungle blog or a diary entry, you might ask the reader questions like, how cool is that? Then we've got another conjunction at however. So I was saying that I rested my eyes for a while. However, I was awoken by 4 fairies. So it's something unexpected happened. So I use another word for but. And then I said they were poking and prodding me like an alien. So I've used a simile there. Okay, so all this just came from 3 bullet points. And all the blue highlighted words are ways I've extended the sentences and made them better. And then my next paragraph, so you need to make sure you leave space between them. Oh. I said that next I got in a sorry, I'm just going this down. I've said the fairies yeah, it was hot, I needed to cool off. Sorry, I have to move this down. There it is. It was hot, I needed to cool off. The friendly fairies led me to a waterfall and a river. I got in, the water tasted minty, so you could drink it. The fairies sprinkled fairy dust on me, and I could breathe underwater and see all the tropical fish and treasure under there. So that's my next paragraph. So using these bullet points as my ideas, I am extending the paragraph. So if we take a look down here. So instead of next, I chose to use after a while as my time opener. I explained who I was and they were thrilled, insisting on showing me around the jungle they called home. I had my very own tour guides. Quickly, we reached a gigantic waterfall that poured into a river with crystal clear water. It was such a hot day, so I decided to take a dip in the welcoming water. As I was swimming around, water accidentally went into my mouth. It tasted minty like toothpaste. Underneath the water, I saw tropical fish, also golden treasure. Kindly, the fairy sprinkled some magic fairy dust which enabled me to breathe underwater so that I could discover the underwater world. I felt free like a dolphin. I felt free like a dolphin. It was the strangest experience, but I loved it. So, again, I've extended the sentences. So I've used my time conjunction after a while. And then I've said how I felt. I've said that I was thrilled, which is another word for excited. And then I've used an exclamation mark here. I had my very own tour guide, so that's something exciting that happened. I've started a sentence here with a fronted adverbial, but this time it's a how fronted adverbial. So quickly, we reached the gigantic, so that's the adjective, waterfall. And then it says here that poured into the river. Now, poured is a verb, so instead of just saying that fell into the river, I've decided to up-level it and say poured. Into the crystal clear water, that's your adjective. Hot day, so that's an adjective. So is your conjunction that's joining the two sentences together. Welcoming water, which is an adjective or alliteration. As I was swimming around, you fronted adverbial and you've got a comma after it. And then I've said that the water tasted minty like toothpaste. So again, I've got a simile. Underneath the water, that's my fronted adverbial. Tropical and golden are adjectives. And I've joined the sentences together using also, which is another word for and, because I'm extending the sentences. Kindly, so again, fronted adverbial for how. Magical fairy dust. Which, so which is a conjunction in it, so it can join two sentences together. Here, enabled me to breathe. So instead of saying let me breathe, I've used the word enabled. Then we've got so, which is a conjunction. Discover. Then I've said I felt free like a dolphin. So we've got another simile. It was the strangest, so an adjective, experience, but I loved it. So we've got an oppositional conjunction here. It was strange, but I loved it. So it's you wouldn't expect that. And then we've got an exclamation mark. So what I'm expecting you to do today is to get your plan in front of you, and the first half of your plan, so the first 4 sections, you're going to write your diary entry. So you'll put these 2 paragraphs together, and these paragraphs are separate. You can have another read through mine to see how I've structured it, and pause it and have another read through. I am expecting probably at least 3 to 4 sentences in each paragraph, and you're doing 3 paragraphs today. Tomorrow we'll look at the second half of the plan. Now these are some of your WILFs that need to be included in it. I will put this on purple mash, so you need to make sure that you're including these WILFs. It needs to be in past tense because it's already happened. I want to see some adjectives in there. I would like you to tell me how you're feeling at different points of your diary. I'd like you to try and use a range of punctuation, so full stops, capital letters, a question mark, exclamation mark, and apostrophe. I want some fronted adverbials. Don't use the where fronted adverbial all the time. Sometimes you can use when or how. And then a range of conjunctions. So you've got also and furthermore, which mean the same as and. You've got however and although, which means the same as but. You've got because and so to explain why something has happened. And then you've got which. So have a go at that, please. If you need any help, you can message us on the blog. But I would like to see the first half of your jungle log done today, please. And I look forward to reading them because the plans that I saw were really good and imaginative. Okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow, guys. Bye.